Hello to our senior high school learners. Welcome to the fourth session here at Italy 21st Century Literature from the Philippines and the world. This week, we'll continue on our journey with creative literary adaptations, this time with a special focus on everything ICT and multimedia. So, before we delve into our discussion today, let me have a quick roll call of the folks who are already quite early and are with us today, this afternoon. Of course, our ever consistent Joseph Conrad Bulaklak from Pasay City North High School, grade 12 ICT. Hi, Joseph. Good afternoon. We also have Chini Corinne Tumabini from 11 Humes Aristotle from City of Bogo Science and Arts Academy Senior High School. Oh, that's good. You know what? We had the same or similar section, but that was my section when I was in fourth year, or if we're going to call it now, I think it's grade 10 already in the new K 12 system. So, hello. Thank you for bringing good memories, Sherry, Chini, rather. So, thank you for being with us today, or with me today. So, before we start, I'd like to have a quick plug of what's in store this week. So, we have the R of Code. So, this is the Computer Science Education Week, December 6th to 12th. It's a global movement introducing you guys in the world of computer science. So if you're interested to maybe code your activities like Minecraft, Star Wars, Disney's Frozen, Angry Birds, Plants vs. Zombies, and so much more, make sure to join the R of Code movement. In fact, you can see a lot of people who have gone through this activity or program have gotten a lot of jobs across the globe. So if you're interested, make sure to visit https rfcode.com slash us or us. And we also have this week ETU Microsoft sessions, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the E2Li or DepEd EdTech Unit Facebook page. So make sure you stay tuned in for more notifications. So, live tayo napapanood today sa ating um, of course, DepEd EdTech Facebook unit. And if you are logged into YouTube, you can check the DepEd Philippines and the Educational Technology Unit YouTube channel. So we have more people coming in. Oh, wow. It's nice to have you today, John Christian Miku. Good afternoon from San Francisco High School, 11 Gus R. Ferriol. So I believe he's one of the ever sweet students of Shooter Joy. So thank you for being here. So let's begin with recognizing the enthusiast or literary enthusiast of the week. We have here first, we have Franklin M. Alvero. So he had an output on The Lion and the Mouse. So, wow, that's good. This is a good one, a good concept map. We also have Nathaniel S. Aquino, The Ant and the Grasshopper. Good. And Benjamin Ballesteros for let's see what this is. Oh, I can't see it here, but not to worry. Wow, I'm amazed. This is a very good layout you have there. So I believe Benjamin will be the one to look forward to in next week's output. So congratulations again, guys, for being the literary enthusiast of the week. Let's begin with a short recap. Well, let's continue with a recap. So, what exactly happened last week? Well, if you can still recall, you were able to review the basic elements of fiction and learn some variations of fiction, such as fables and parables. And to top it off, you're able to interpret a text and discover the different elements of the story with Shooter Joy's help. Hope you are now more comfortable in reading or listening to creative adaptations of known literary texts. And are you now ready for another adventure? I certainly hope so. If you are, please make sure to hit some comments or leave some emojis just to make sure that you guys are really so excited and pumped up for today's session. So thank you for being here. And if you'd like to share this very stream, kung feeling nyo medyo team replay yung mga batchmates or castmates natin, pwedeng-pwede nating i-share yung live stream na to at panoorin ng mga families and friends nyo later on in the next few hours. So, there you have it. Let's proceed with the focus. What is really our goal today? And that is on our milk produce a creative representation of a literary text by applying multimedia and ICT skills. So, if you try to look at this closely, this is the same milk we had last week. But we wanted to dig deeper, really showcase a more creative way of presenting our creative adaptations of existing text, but with the use of multimedia and our ICT skills in general. So I hope you'll be excited to produce your own in a few. Here are the objectives for the session: identify the components, the characteristics, and benefits of ICT and multimedia. That's pretty interesting. The second and the third objectives would be to create a unique literary adaptation through multimedia presentation, and finally, appreciate the use of multimedia to enhance your ICT skills. Do you think you can manage to do that? I certainly hope so. Let's try to check. Oh, the lighting, the natural light. Let me just move my position so you can see. Yeah, feel like I'm already, wow, golden hour. We have here Sheila Seron Echanes leaving a good afternoon message to all of us. Hello there, dear. We also have JJ uh, or Jamuel Jimenez from SFHS 11 Gas Ferials. And we also have Rose Domio from Kidapawan City National High School Grade 8 Hook. Wow, this kid here, Rose, is really trying to have some advanced reading or advanced lesson with us here. So, wow, I think you'll be ready when you hit senior high school. Thank you for joining us. So, after hearing that objective, we have the literature concept of the week. Now, the concept is very easy. Let's begin with, since the concept is digital storytelling, let's try to define first the basic term there, a very familiar term, which is storytelling. So, storytelling, it has been existing for quite a while already since the birth of mankind. It's simply the act of telling or writing stories and then sharing it to people. Stories are passed on from generation to generation. That's why we come about with oratures or oral literatures in most areas. We all started with that. Eventually, we're able to scribe our stories, put them on paper, and then we're able to touch lives. How come? So we touch lives not because we're coming from a telecommunications company, but literature itself or storytelling itself foster empathy, motivation among you guys, and I don't know, live the dream, do the right thing based on the scenarios or lessons shared in those stories. And let's talk science. How is storytelling even related to science? So this is just a quick trivia. So let's see how we'll do it. So we all know that reading stories is vital to our development. In fact, there are three happy hormones that are activated when you read stories. So what do you think are these three happy hormones? I want you to start typing them in. Don't worry. Your guesses, all your guesses are welcome. So what are these hormones that are activated when you read? So while you're at it, I'll also let's have some greetings while waiting for your answers. Oh, I'll give you a clue. Let's have letter D, letter O, and letter S. So the acrostic DOS. DOS. So what are these hormones? So they all start with D, O, and S. So endorphins, wow, dopamine. Oh, wow, that's good. Good one. So Anislad Joseph from SFHS grade 11 Gas Ferio. So hello, thank you for being here. Sir Jerry, thank you so much for that compliment. God bless you more, sir. We also have Ma'am Winona Olivar Estolas. I believe this is a teacher or maybe just a mature looking student, a very responsible one from Kabulacan. Oh, this is interesting pronunciation. Kabulacan High School. We also have Trisha, Anislag, Joseph, Gwyneth, Agina, Trisha, uh, Carol Kalimlim. Also, good one. So we have answers already, and most of you are right. That's true. We have D which stands for dopamine, O for oxytocin, and S for serotonin. So, how are these three related? So, when you're trying to maybe open a book, I hope, let's just say you're opening your phone, check your ebooks maybe. So if you're trying to look at your material or your text, you're definitely going to be immersed in a story. And once you're at it, your brain releases dopamine, or the hormone that plays a role on how we feel pleasure or joy. So it helps us focus, it helps us in finding or appreciating things, tag things as interesting. In your case, an interest with the reading material itself. Then, when that happens, your serotonin levels also increase, hereby regulating your mood. At a normal level, the focus is still there, check. It makes you emotionally stable, calmer, and happier, which leads us finally to the production of the third hormone, which is oxytocin, which makes you feel a surge of positive emotion. That impacts, of course, your social behavior. That's why usually we say, oh, I can identify with this character. I feel like Shang-Chi right now, or maybe one of the Eternals and all. Well, that only applies if you're reading the comics, of course, and even on film. That can be translated. So having shown such impact in your mood, in your social behavior, definitely the trust is there. The trust in the author for giving you good material. You feel so relaxed. You have that overall psychological stability, and yep, those are all associated to the production of oxytocin. So clearly, when these three hormones are produced when you read, your stress or any form of anxiety is reduced. So amazing, huh? I told you we can relate science with literature. Now, with the help of technology, we are able to define this literature concept of the week, and that is digital storytelling. So we're still saying, or we're still sharing stories, but this time we don't just see them on printed materials or books. We already see them beyond the print material. So we're having this shift. So from the conventional or traditional way of storytelling, we're able to onboard other technologies like in Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube. You can have a lot of opportunities to narrate stories your way. We can even hear some podcasts via Spotify, which I do, by the way, almost every day, and other similar apps. Or maybe see literary text adapted as films or series, and even digital documentaries. So, or maybe some memoir or computer based narratives come to life through streaming content on platforms like Netflix, Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, Curiosity Stream, and so much more. So, again, digital digital storytelling is a way to go for you guys. Now, let's relate digital storytelling to 21st century literacy. So, Dave, Neshlin, Daniel, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. So, let's try to relate those two. So there are, let's say, there are different types of 21st century literacy, or maybe some branches, yep, terms branching out. We have digital literacy. So and something that you guys already have. You're able to expand your network and communicate with others through the use of technology. And it's easier for you guys to gather info, seek help from others, and even discuss issues. And mostly these days, political issues are really a thing. You can see it everywhere. No matter how you stop yourself from scrolling those topics, they're everywhere. Next, global literacy. So it's everyone's capacity to read, interpret, respond, contextualize message from a global perspective. We also have visual literacy, which pertains to your ability to understand, produce, communicate through visual images. So, if you're the type who prefer to not just read or immerse yourself in the material through text and you're into the visual imagery and stuff, so yep, definitely that's your A game. You're putting on your A game on visual literacy. We also have technology literacy, which talks about your ability to use computers and other technology to improve learning, productivity, and performance. And finally, information literacy, completing the entire concept of 21st century literacy. It's your ability to not only gather information, not just use all the technologies out there, but you're able to locate the information which you deem are factual, or information that is factual, that's identified or evaluated well if it's accurate or not, and you're able to synthesize those information, them all together. So if you try to look at it closely, if you're someone who is 21st century literate, you're already someone who's capable of performing digital storytelling. So you see, lovely. Now let's try to redefine or recall what ICT is. So ICT, it stands for Information and Communications Technology. In fact, ICT has this uh, a lot of things, a lot of components, and that includes telecommunication. Okay, it also includes audiovisual. Not really audiovisual. Based on this, I can definitely broadcast media. We also have intelligent building management systems, audiovisual processing and transmission systems, and finally, network based control and monitoring functions. So, all those are encompassed in ICT, or the big concept of ICT. And let's try to get to know ICT more by being acquainted with its components. I'm sure you know most, if not all of them. In the World Wide Web, we get to explore cloud computing. So, this is you trying to have this ability to store data and compute power. And in fact, what's so beautiful about cloud computing is not everyone's so immersed to it. We get to save our things in our phones, in our gadgets, or even in the cloud, to be exact. And there are people behind the management of such data that you've stored. So cloud computing is a really good way to start when it comes to safeguarding your data. We also have software and hardware. So if you try to relate both, they go hand in hand with each other. Our gadgets wouldn't exist or wouldn't work 100% without these two. So your software talks about what is software? What is the difference between software and hardware? You may want to type them in. So just few simple phrases or words. Uh, Wow, thank you, Ron, for joining us. Therese, Angel, Dave, Neshlin. Hi, you guys. Wow, Rosu San Marino National High School, Maine. So there you go. 11 Gas R Ferriol, San Francisco High School. I'm sure your principal is really proud of you guys, and even Tutor Joyce. You guys are really coming over every week. Thank you for being with me today. So, software talks about all the programs, yes, instructions to make your programs work and to make your computers work, execute specific tasks. As for hardware, we talk about things that are tangible. So, if software is something uh, that is instructed in our devices, hardware is actually the things that we can touch, physically tangible. Our monitor, our hardware, our screen, our CPU or system unit, if you wanted to be more technical about it. We also have transactions. So if you're able to do a lot of Shopee Shopee, Lazada purchases, or eBay purchases, Amazon even. So you're someone who is already ready to navigate the online system without the use of course, definitely paper. And it's so easy to get back at things. Like, let's say you forgot if you actually paid for something. Let's say your mom or your dad or your grandparents ask you to pay for something with Gcash or PayMaya or even any bank transaction. You can easily track if you're able to pay, if you paid or transferred an amount to a wrong person, it's always easy to spot the error. So that's how beautiful transactions or digital transactions are made easy for you guys. We also have communication technology, email, Viber, Telegram. Hello. We also have data or digital data. So if you're familiar with the binary system, 1 0, so those are actually the most fundamental ones used to store complex audio, video, and text information. And finally, uh, internet access. So if you're someone who's able to connect the internet, and of course, it's obvious because you guys are joining me today. Well, I'm very happy to say that you guys are already considered as technophiles or people who are well versed with technology. So there. Let's talk about ICT skills. So and under we get to understand, apply a range of computer programs, software, and other apps. So we have first using keyboard shortcuts. I want you guys to type the first three or the most common keyboard shortcuts that you use in school. So I'd like you to start typing them in. Don't worry, I'll wait for you. So Joseph, thank you for also placing a iteration of the difference of hardware and software. So hardware, as he says, physical components, software, the programs or the set of instructions that we give our devices to make them work. So thank you for that. Good job, my dear. So let's try to check. So VSED Science, Liceo de Masbate City, Mike or Mike. Oh no, you have to really correct me with how you pronounce your name. Serrano, who is with us today. So hello, dear. Thank you. We also have Jenlyn Puaso Remesio from 12 Gas Spices from San Francisco High School. So finally, someone is able to give us an answer. Joseph, for being consistent, congratulations. I might give you some prize maybe a little later. So we have Control Z. Good job. Trisha Lian Arguliano also said print screen. Definitely. Windows key plus print screen. Oh, okay. That's good. Good job, guys. These are really pretty handy. These are very easy keyboard shortcuts. How about the others? We want to hear your favorite keyboard shortcut. Now, again, if you're someone who's very familiar with all the keyboard shortcuts, definitely your ICTs, that's already an ICT skill. Another ICT skill that we want to review would be being able to type or encode a text using Pages, or if you're the Mac ecosystem, or you're using Microsoft Word. We also have managing data. I noticed in the module we mentioned they're manipulating data. Now if we try to say it in the most positive way and a very objective sense, we are actually managing data. So whether we're amending data or we're just encoding data in spreadsheets like Excel file, yep, or numbers in the Mac ecosystem, again we're actually encoding data. Maybe others even go beyond translating such data to tables or diagrams. So that's how beautiful it is for you guys. You're able to do that. Back then, I'm not really sure if our forefathers, okay, our forefathers were able to do that. They have to do everything manually. So feel blessed that you're able to manage data with just a click of your icon or just a little typing. Next set of ICT skills, we're able to generate slides. Okay. So this is a good one, right? We're able to use PowerPoint. We're also able to wait, hold on. I forgot the name for the Mac PowerPoint. Uh, who could tell me? Who could help me recall what is the PowerPoint version in the Mac ecosystem? So if you know, type it in. Thank you. So next one. We're also able to save files and being able to determine which type of file to save. In fact, we are so lucky because our computers or devices are quite smart that they are able to identify already the type of file that you're about to save or you're about to open. And thank you, thank you. Wow, these are Amazing. Oh, so Joseph mentioned it's Keynote, Apple Keynote. Thank you for that, Joseph. I keep on using it, but I always forget its name. I guess I'm just when I was in elementary, I keep on using Microsoft products that I tend to forget the products of Apple. Sorry, Apple, forgive me. Thank you, Joseph, for reminding me. We already have some answers coming in. We have Joseph Alt F4. Wow. Joseph Miku. Control U. Win tab for Clarice. Wendika. Good job, guys. Thank you for sending in your commonly used keyboard shortcut. So thank you for that. See, we also have this one. When you are tagged as someone who has ICT skills, you're also able to produce different marketing materials or labels. In your language, I believe you usually use the word PubMats or publication materials. So these could be digital posters or maybe just simple announcements that are produced digitally. You're using Photoshop, or maybe you're using Canva for others, or simply using Microsoft Publisher. So all those programs or applications are helpful in producing the materials that you imagine. Citing your sources, of course. You should know what to cite, when to cite, and you should know if talaga bang that source is credible. Okay? We don't have to believe everything that we see online. We have to cross check. Wait, is this really the main source? Is this actually what the main source is saying? So don't fall victim for wrong information. Okay? And we're able to manage browsing websites, update our web browsers, or even creating and managing our own website. So uh, back then, I did try to design my own website, but of course, there are a lot of things that should be done to update it every now and then. I wasn't able to sustain it. So maybe you guys, if you have your own website, you can plug it here and then, yeah, just type it in and then let's see if we can ask our friends to visit, our fellow viewers to visit your website. So Joseph here mentioned that he's using PDF to pass the project in Google Drive and Google Classroom. That's good. To be honest, Joseph, and for the rest of you guys, whenever my students ask for handouts or maybe a copy of my PowerPoint, I don't ask them to. I won't be giving them my PowerPoint presentation. Apart from I had to do a lot of things just to produce the presentation. So not that I'm selfish, but I want it to be reused in or viewed in the most not really creative, but in a good sense or in a good way. So what I do is I'll just convert or export it to PDF and then send it to them. If they really wanted to have some extra notes, I give them a separate PDF or Word file with all the in-depth explanation per concept. So that's what I do. So there. So don't be afraid to ask your teachers for them. They'll definitely share. If your teacher is into the PowerPoint presentation show, there's actually a technique to check the entire presentation. You just open a normal Microsoft PowerPoint app and then just hit open and then try to open that PowerPoint show. And instead of seeing a show, you're actually being routed to the the source PowerPoint file. So let's try to do that next meeting. I'll try to have more navigation stuffs with you guys so you would know how to do it. Some techniques. Anyway, this is me sharing when I was still a student. I have lots of things that are being explored. So here's another associating yourself as a technophile. So if you're a technophile, you're someone who's really into technology. In informal terms, you say, "Oh, you're a techie," or some other people say, "Oh, you're a tech savvy." So if you wanted a more formal term, just go for technophile. Okay. And then let's have multimedia. Wow, we have a few minutes left. I hope we can finish. So, multimedia is another concept that still falls under the, the idea of ICT, and it means or it requires you to not just use one form or medium of instruction or presentation or expression, we're actually using more than one. So if you're using text in your creative adaptations, you can go beyond the text and maybe incorporate pictures, images, sound, video clips, and so on. Okay. What are its benefits? Definitely, it gives you the opportunity to understand a lesson further. You get to go outside the box, go beyond the box. Hindi lang yung, okay, submit your reaction paper and then that's it. Well, if you're someone who's into you're the explorer type, you really wanted to if it's a fruit, parang or maybe an animal in science, in the world of science, dissect niya talaga yung text. Maybe create multiple interpretations or adaptations of the text. Assist in self-directed learning, definitely. Let's say we're having some difficulty looking at the screen already. So you can use text to audio option in web browsers. So you can use that option. So instead of looking at your screen, you'll just listen while you take a rest, or maybe just go for audiobooks. That would help. Okay. Here's another encourages time management. Definitely, it saves time when you're using multimedia. It also serves as a guide in assessing the needs to be addressed in different learning activities. So this is quite helpful for the teacher's end. On your in your case, if you plan on creating your own reviewer or material to your batchmates or classmates, well, this could also be a good benefit, or rather a benefit that you can emphasize as you design your own learning activities, knowing, oh, these are difficult ideas or concepts that I met in class. I may want to emphasize on this and then expound. So that's how beautiful multimedia is. Now, what are its characteristics? It's fun and interesting. It's manageable and practical to use when we convey information. It has varied viewing options and even playing options. So if you're playing it live, just hit share or share screen or share Chrome tab, and then poof, you have your video. Or you can maybe, I just wanted to be laid back today. I just wanted to just watch the material of my teacher later. So maybe you can just download or maybe preview the file or video file or the link, then download the file and then check it later, play it offline. So that easy. And let's talk about the types. So there are different types. You have text. So when it's text, all the words that are included, it has different extensions or file formats. So we have .doc.docx, very common. We also have .odt, .pdf, .rtf, .txt. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize all these. We meet them often. So a lot of familiarization will go a long way. A lot of using really the interface of different word processors out there. So you'll be good to go with the file extensions. You can manage. The second type of media is image. So everything that we see, okay, so the digitized version this time, needed to create videos and even animation. Okay, there. Different file extension. We have JPEG or .jpg, the most common one, and the compressed version of .png. Usually, I go for PNG image files because I can use them in websites or anything, any online interface or platform out there. It The file or image is of high resolution. It doesn't get distorted, and we can have the option to have a transparent background. However, if you're just designing a simple PowerPoint presentation, you can just go for JPEG. Others.psd, .ai, .bmp. So if you have time, explore Photoshop. That would be a plus. Okay. Third type of media, we have audio. So everything that we hear, it could be recorded, It could be broadcasted, or it could simply be part of the effects of your video. Let's say a background music. And the most common file extensions for audio files would be .mp3, .wav, .wma, .wpl, .cda, .mpa. So .wma, I think is Windows Media Play. Yeah, Windows Media Audio. Okay, so there are lots to uncover for these file extension. How are they similar? How are different? Uh, Depends on where you play it. Okay, apart from where you play it, the quality of audio also plays a big role when it comes to choosing the right file format. So if you're into editing, you'll definitely have a good time choosing which file formats work for you and your video. And finally, or second to the last, we have video. A multimedia component appears on TV and online. Some formats load faster compared to others, depending kung gaano kabigat yung video file or clip. GIF, or rather, oh, this is one thing. Filipinos keep on saying GIF, GIF. Um, when I check the dictionary, it's simply GIF. It's like you're giving a gift without a T sound. So we have different video file formats. You have MPEG video file with the video file extension. Ooh, .mpg and .mpeg. Windows Media video file, or .wmv. We also have MPEG-4 video file. This is really good for bigger videos. .mp4. We also have Apple QuickTime movie file. .mov. AVI file. Okay, very easy. If you notice, kung ano yung name, ganun din yung extension. First three letters usually. Flash file. So we have .flv or .swf. So they differ because they are ran or opened in different apps. So yeah, supporting Flash, of course. Apple MP4 video file, .m4v. Woo, so many. Not to worry again, it's easy to memorize if you come across them often. So animation, all the movement, all the interaction, and then the file formats. Yep, Flash, MP4, MOV, GIF, SVG animation, Adobe After Effects, and so on. So, can you identify now the multimedia format that could best help you in interpreting a text? So, if I were you, go for something very, very familiar, which is the digital picture story, or simply the digital story. So it's a 2 to 3 minute multimedia presentation that combines text, audio, images, and even video clips to tell a story. So instead of going through the steps, I'll just show you a video. I hope I can play it now. Let's try to check. I hope Direct can help me in flashing the video. I hope we can have that on screen. So I'll just remove it from the stream. Direct, can you help me play the video? Okay, so it seems that the rec is, yep, I think still trying to pull it up. Oh, that's interesting. I really wanted to show it to you. I prepared for the video. Hmm. All right, so it seems that the video couldn't be played. How interesting. So, wow. Anyway, so because of that, I'd like to let you know I'm using MP4 to download my Dep and TV and Etolite TV videos. Wow. Okay. Commitment. Thank you for that. So, since the video couldn't be played, uh, let's stop there. Let's stop in the digital picture story. So, in the next meeting, before we have our review, I'll be showing to you a digital or how digital picture story or stories are done. I will show you or demonstrate how I did mine during our recently concluded reading month celebration. So I hope you'll be excited to see that. And as for your task of the week, I want you to always remember to um, already start visualizing what type of creative adaptation you guys have in mind. So I hope in the next session you'll be able to share them or maybe post them in our E2 Live group. And that's about it for today's session. I hope you are starting to appreciate the different adaptation of literary text and I would come your way. And this time with the use of multimedia. Don't forget to subscribe to the Dep Ed EdTech Unit Facebook page to revisit and share this episode. Or you may want to visit the YouTube channel DepEd Philippines and Educational Technology Unit of DepEd. Once again, this is Tutor Floy reminding you to read more literary text to explore the extent of your imagination. I hope you can start thinking of your digital story next week. And not to worry, I'll be showing or demonstrating to you how it works and how it runs. And maybe as I try to demonstrate it, you also try to do it on your end. So tune in again next time for a weekly dose of 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world every Tuesday from 4 to 4:40 p.m. Thank you for watching everyone. Toodles and see you next week. I can't wait to be with you on our last week for December. So bye everyone. Take care.